here it is, the perfect road trip car, Porsche 207 SW. Or maybe not, but let's give it a go and see what we can do. So I'm going to start off by removing all of this like tape which is over the glass, which was obviously smashed, and then we can start removing everything from there. So now that the boot is open, we can have a look and see if there's any structural damage, which there is not. So I'm really lucky in this case that the category N is correct in this vehicle. But it also means that now I can have a look and see what I need to do. Involves like the wiring, see what's happening, and yeah, and we're gonna have to rewire the entire boot, I've realised, is the issue. So yeah, you'll see that later on, but we're getting there. So some of these connectors which I'm about to remove were an absolute pain because they just did not want to come because of the boot being bent. So it took me a little bit, but some brute force and knowing that I wasn't going to reuse some of these really helped me out. Now the really nice thing about this boot is that because I've got a complete spare that's practically complete, meant that I'm able to take off everything like the latching mechanism, and it means that I can make sure that everything that's going back on the replacement car is absolutely perfect. So to remove this rear brake light, it just involves me undoing these two screws and there's some clips holding it in, and one wire and the washer fluid, which is really easy to remove, so anyone can do it, and just use the hammer just to encourage it to come out a bit easier. So to remove the cable, you've got to push it back through the hole in the boot, which is a really easy job once you actually get some of the like grommets out of the way. Now at this point I thought I'd be absolutely stupid to try and lift the boot and undo these screws all by myself, so I enlisted the help of my mum, which really helped because it meant I could take the full weight of the boot and she could just undo the screws, which would allow me to be able to, well, not drop it on my head. whilst I'm about to get the new boot on, I just thought I'd quickly say why I'm not putting a opening hatch on the back of this car like what was originally on it, and it's because they are so expensive for what they're worth. They're about £300-400, whereas this is £100 for this boot with delivery. It just seems a bit stupid to spend so much for something which doesn't bring the value up that much, hence why I'm keeping this. And for the road trip, it may be a bit of a loss, but I think we're going to really enjoy it. So the trick for putting on these little clips was to use some pliers to open them and then get someone to push them on, which worked really well. So this is the point where I realised I had to rewire the entire boot. I knew it was going to be a lot of effort, but I knew that it would be worth it once I'd done it. So you can see me here count the wires and everything to make sure that I can 100% get it completed. Now the battery location on this car is really weird to get to. Not the location I guess, but it's the clip, which was an absolute pain in this back one, which you barely had enough room to get it all in there, and there was no spanners small enough to get actually onto the clip, so that was a bit of a pain. Basically, what I'm going to do is take out the wires for the rear heater and take out these wires, which you kind of can't see, up here for the rear window heater. And then what I'm going to have to do is use these cables to connect into these cables so that it's still functional inside the car. Should work, because the button for the rear boot is on this set of cable. So I'm not using that, so I can switch it over and see how it decides to work. At this point I'm stripping off all the black tape on the wires because it's just getting in my way and I can't see the individual wires to know where I need to cut and where I need to work. So I'm taking it all off, and then I luckily found a joint halfway through, like a connector. So I'm taking the wire down to there and then rebuilding it back from there, which should work really well. Once I did the rewiring, I decided to tape it all back up in the fabric like cloth tape which originally came in, and I skipped all that because it's an absolute faff to try and do it, but everything works now 100%, which I'm really happy about. If you did enjoy, please consider subscribing, because the next video will be a lot better and we've got some engine work to do, which will be an interesting one.